Hello, welcome to Melanin and Happy Night Live. I am Lydia Bimbola. Welcome to my video blog. Today, as you can see with the title, this is another of my many one of the many experiences I've had in the gang stalking programming. I've been a targeted individual for 15 years and I've tried so much to navigate through the persecution. And one thing is that when you have an army of people in position of power that could get access to any kind of record and could manipulate any kind of record, can use any kind of record against you. They can tap your phone at will. They can violate your internet connection. They can spy on you. They can get access to your landlord and enter your house in your absence and plant cameras in your house. Then it's a really deep and profound harassment and persecution. Now, this incident happened in Peschara di Garda. Peschara di Garda is actually one of the well-known tourist centers or tourist cities in Italy. That's where you have the Garda land. I don't know, maybe you've heard about the Garda land. Garda land is like European Disneyland, probably not as big as Disneyland, but just for you to have an idea what Garda land is all about. So anyway, this city, Peschara di Garda, it's one of the most expensive, if not the most expensive city in the region where it's located in Italy. And I met this person through some interactions, business interactions I've had with some Italian entrepreneur that I've helped out with their businesses, with clients and things like that. And I think what went round that I was good in my work, getting clients and things like that for these entrepreneurs. Well, that was the reason I was presented to this man. At least that was what I thought then. But because this was it wasn't the early stage of gang stalking, because as I said, I've been a gang stalk for 15 years, but this was part of the time I was beginning to realize that something was wrong somewhere. It's not possible, from being somebody that was well loved by everybody, well respected by everybody, well cherished by everybody. People basically literally worship me in Milan, where I lived and studied. All of a sudden, all this aggression against me, all this harassment, persecution, by 2012, of course, I mean 2011, I knew something was wrong somewhere. But also, I started knowing from where the persecutions were coming from. Anyway, well, then I was already, 2010, I was in Piomba, where I stayed just about 2 weeks. I abandoned the place. My money was stolen. My deposit was not given back to me. The law enforcement agent, the military intelligence, told them to send me out of the house I paid for without any problem, without any situation. I didn't have any problem with anybody. Nobody had problems with me. Just 2 weeks, they get my money, they collect my money, and they tell them to chase me out of the place. Well, I've lived continuously like this, that they collect money from me, they chase me out of the place, and they steal my property. So I've been going through this pain, this harassment, this bitterness, this hunger inside of me. But because you see, the gang stalking programming is made intentionally embarrassing, that when you start complaining with this situation, that look, I was treated like this, or this happened to me, and well, it's not something you just tell people anyhow. They made it intentionally embarrassing for that reason. Well, now that I've been into it, 15 years of this persecution, harassment, theft of my properties, false accusation, defamation of my character, manipulation of my police data, then I know perfectly who I'm dealing with, what I'm dealing with, their intentions, their aggression, and their motives, and what they're orchestrating for me. Well, in this case, Peschara de Garda, I was told, I was introduced to this guy for this business reason, and the way the guy gave me the key of one of his villas in his estate, well, it was suspicious, but one thing is that I've been going through harassment, paying hotel bills. It's not very easy, even though I still have some savings, but any time one can save or whatever, you will be excited to do that. So I felt, well, I'm paying so much bills in the hotel, and I'm not really feeling well because I have to always eat in restaurant or eat pizza, and the offer was okay for me, at least I can also save money in the process doing business with him. In the process, I would also gain a lot of money. He's into businesses, and I think his major business is real estate. So, he needed somebody like me that can help him promote some of his businesses and attract clients. And of course, he wanted me to build a website for his business. It was one of the things we discussed, and I told him, look, a well-standard website, because I think somebody built one for him that wasn't even up to standard. I said, look, a well-standard net website will also be good. So these are all the things we discussed. So though I saw all those things that they really look normal. You just have business meeting with somebody, and the same day you are as if we never even discussed that. Okay, how will I be getting there? Where I am every time we have a business meeting or things like that. He already had the key in his pocket. So, well, maybe it's coincidence, maybe it was planned. Really, I don't know, and I don't want to conclude now. But knowing the gang stalking programming, one thing I know is that they've continuously abused my internet connection. They know what they want to, be like ahead of me in everything. So basically, whoever I send emails to, they can read my emails. So basically, anything I do online, I'm on 24/7 surveillance. It's an illegal activity they're actually doing, but the gang stalking programming, listening to some ex-gang stalkers that actually rebelled against the evil system and separated themselves from this gang stalking program, who have now become a targeted individual themselves, because you cannot dine and wine with mafia and you say you're not doing any longer and they let you go. There is a consequence. There's a price to pay, but these people were ready to pay this price and confess what is actually happening in the gang stalking program. Apart from being an illegal activity, it's a very devilish activity. So what they do is that, according to one of them, so researches and books I read on ex-gang stalkers, is that they actually are on 24/7 surveillance with internet connection of the targeted individual, basically to see how you think, what you think, and how, probably, because one thing, to be a targeted individual to start with, they have put you under surveillance for a very long time before you even realize it. They've already zeroed down on you that probably somebody can submit your name. That is possible just to torture you or whatever. But something attracted them to you, and from there they take it up and study you. They want to study the kind of friends you keep, what kind of things you do, your moral values. If you're a loose person, if you're somebody morally sound, if you're a disciplinarian, you're somebody of integrity. But you know what? With Satan, their ideal target is always somebody of integrity, honor, and dignity. Why? Because Satan has so much joy in destroying that which is good. So you can understand why targeted individuals are people that have no criminal past, because they will never choose a convict to become a targeted individual. They will never choose a drug addict, somebody that has lost directions, or somebody that is weak-willed or whatever. Most of the targeted individuals I've seen online, they've spoken, and they are people of really intelligence. I mean, well, you see, even people of intelligence, when they're under pressure, things happen to them. So many, they do, but the thing is that they just want to destroy the works of God. They want to make the works and power of God of no effect in our lives. So they choose the best and destroy it. It's either you use whatever glory God has given to you for the worship of Satan, or you will not worship God. It's either Satan or you don't worship any other God. So that is why they choose the best of the best for destruction, okay? Most targeted individuals are people that don't have criminal records. The ones that have criminal record, well, maybe out of foolishness, they make unwise decisions and they were incarcerated, or maybe they were not even incarcerated, or maybe, but most of the ones I know are people that really, they have very strong moral values, they're very intellectually, they're well gifted and things like that. Anyway, going back to my Peschara story. So anyway, I got to this place. I moved my things. The guy, he was even going to rent a rental van. I said no, because the way he gave me the key, I became a little bit panicky. But at the same time, I was really my finances was, it was still okay as a then, but I was just being careful. So I know, since I'm being hindered from working, I have to be wise on what I have. So when I went there, I decided to just take some luggages, some things I need, my money thing, my juice maker, my, all the normal things I need, I took it there because it's a vacation villa anyway, the type the family goes, for vacation, or couples or whatever, or you just want to spend the weekend or a week away from home, such villa, it has a swimming pool, well, not a personal swimming pool. There are so many villas, in the same complex. I think it's owned by the guy, but there is a swimming pool that is for every villa in that, area, which is just about, very few villas anyway. So anyway, I moved some of my things in. I didn't move in everything. You see, then I was not so sensitized to the movement of the military intelligence stalking me. I know I was being stalked. I know I was having problems everywhere I go, but reason the problem comes up, I don't know. You just see somebody loving me so much, they respect me so much, they really respect my, the way I see things, the way I do things, the way, they respect. All of a sudden, they become so afraid of me. They become so cynical. They become so hungry towards me. They become so irritated, and I could not understand. And you see, I have an international orientation and an international mentality, in the sense that in Africa, where I come from, when something like that happens, you're falling out with people begin to say, oh, it's a spiritual manifestation, oh, your great grandfathers, families, or whatever they're doing, all this mumbo jumbo, superstitious and everything. They begin to concoct all those things. But I'm not saying spiritual things are not involved, don't get me wrong, but they just put it in that direction that, oh, it must be somebody somebody doing you or something like that. It must be your great-great-grandfather or, side that has a witchcraft problem that is affecting your life or some, things like that. I didn't see it that way. I still try to be logical about the whole thing, but as a Christian, I want to understand the spiritual aspect. Then that was when I really wanted God to really let me know what was happening, because I got to a stage I became so frustrated at what really is happening. Why am I being hated? So 1 minute somebody wants to help me, they want to do this, they are so, all of a sudden they turn against me. It is, you see, devil is not omnipotent and is not omnipresent. Okay? His demons they stalk people through humans, and they give report back to Satan. So they don't know everything. The only thing they know is what you tell them. That's why you see, as a targeted individual, I say what has already happened. I don't talk about my plans. Like, I want to open a forum helping targeted individuals about so many things concerning health, but I'm saying I will be exposing too much of what I'm using to save myself. So I still want to help the TI in so many ways, but at the same time, I'm not going to expose what I use to save, to protect myself, and my health from so much attack. Somehow God will lead me how I'm going to present that. So anyway, I moved into this place. Then about a short while after, this particular person, they actually made, it wasn't the one, but there were people telling him. But I found out that those people were military intelligence in Peschara, the Garda. They were military intelligence. They actually wanted to have a groupie with me. And they told him to tell me. Why I know is that I saw their car once. I was coming back. I came back. I was coming back from the, from the other gate, not the gate I usually pass through. I passed through the gate of the swimming pool, and I saw the car while they were talking. So I hid near the flowers and ate some of the things and went inside. So I was already informed about what he was going to ask me. So I now felt, oh my God. You see, that's why I stay in hotel, because in hotel, though I'm spending a lot of money, I'm not receiving any money, but at least nobody disturbed me, apart from the fact from these predatory sexual predators called gang stalkers. They also like stalk hotels and maybe put cameras in the room, So anyway, when he came inside the house, he now asked me, if I wanted, he wanted the relationship and things like that. Okay. I actually said, the age difference is really so much. And, it was almost like times 2 of my age. So you can imagine, I'm 47-year-old now. So for somebody to be almost times 2 of my age, we're talking about 90 years now. I'm 47 right now as I speak, 2018. So, you understand what I'm trying to say. So it should be in his 90s now. Okay, this happened in 2012. So anyway, the age difference was much, though he was a wealthy man, but he was married also. Then, the normal thing men says, all this mumbo jumbo, oh, he's married, but he's not happy in his marriage. And if you're not happy in your marriage, then divorce your wife and go marry somebody else, or get somebody, and you're not doing anything bad. And nobody needs to risk their life because you're a married man or whatever, But anyway, I was not interested. But then I got stressed out, because now I'm in the place. Now there's a condition given to me. I said, listen, if you want, let's do it like this, okay? This villa, I don't want it for free from you. I can give you money. I can give you, tell me how much, that I can pay, but as long as it's not exaggerated, I will pay, then we'll come to an agreement. So, you don't insult me or offend me on what I'm not, because I came here for work. Don't forget that. I came here for work. We're supposed to do business together. I'm supposed to help you get clients, and other things I introduced him to, that he was interested in investment. So I said, listen, this was the reason I came as a business person. I didn't come as a slut. So if you want to treat me like one, you'll be offending my integrity. And then he said he was sorry and everything. And he went to tell those people my response. I sneaked outside. I saw that they were still there. They talked, and he was talking to them on the phone. They were gone then. He was talking to them on the phone. Then I knew that, you see, it's not just one person, because as a man, I think he's just a calm person. He's not the one thinking about all those things alone. But there are some infiltrators who are identified to be military intelligence. They want to have grouping with me. So we're not talking about people that just have power. We're talking about people that are actually sick. They have legal powers, but they are sick upstairs. So anyway, what happened is that they came to me. I don't know what they told him on the phone, because I was not hearing their own side of the conversation. I was just hearing his own side of the conversation. He was just telling them, okay. I think it's a kind of a softie, a kind of a softie for everyone. He's a very rich man, but he's somebody that listens to other people, and maybe, a kind of person that friends can influence. And these, I don't believe, are his friends. These are people that they're gang stalkers, and their mission is to defend my character. Probably they presented me to be a hoe that they can take advantage of. So even though I was there strictly for business purposes, now they want to turn me to a hoe and cancel. So it's just like a black woman, a melanin woman. How dare you say you even come here for work? You understand what I'm trying to say? You're supposed to be in a position to be used, to be abused by an albino, and that's it. So when the guy came the next day to tell me the same thing again, and I think they've already fed his mind with so much, and all the things they discussed, he vomited the thing. I think it was the third day or something like that. He came. So I was just there about it wasn't even up to 10 days yet, okay? It wasn't up to 2 weeks yet that all those things were already happening. So, it was like, oh, who do I think I am? Even there are Brazilians that come, we have an agreement that they give them things, and, everybody's happy, they have some money, and, everybody just have fun and everything. You have people from Cuba, you have Italians, so what it was trying now to tell me, based on the foolishness of the gang stalkers, that was actually sex predators that wants to lay me, is like, they were telling him to tell me, you understand, that it's like, as a melanin, how dare I think I'm even better than Brazilians that have come, that they do this to everybody, that even Italians come, they have fun, fun in the sense that they have sexual intercourse and everybody is happy, they just told me all kind of nationality, that the Romanians, from East Europe, Russians and everything. Okay, fine. Obviously, these are a group of people with, the guy with economical power that has a bunch of leeches around him that happens to be gang stalkers, sexual predators. Now, they want to use him to devour me also. I made it very clear that the reason I'm here is for work and not to be insulted. If you want sexual pleasure, since you have the list of the kind of women that accept your offer, why don't you go to them? Why are you disturbing me? I am here for work to help you increase your investment, the clientele level, and of course, I expect my own percentage in the whole thing. Okay, and that if I choose to become a hoe, I believe I can do it myself. I do not need a pimp to pimp me out. Neither do I need somebody to take advantage of the fact that I didn't even ask you for the villa. You gave me the key. Okay, now if that is the problem, I'm willing to give you a rent for this, because it's a nice place. I'm willing to give you something, and you don't feel used, or you don't feel, because I didn't ask. If I ask you, you will say, okay, maybe I used you. But if you offered, I was not even there. I was not even thinking about, okay, I'm going there, I'm going to find somewhere to stay around there. Well, if the business was going well, I would have found somewhere to stay around that zone. So I will continue to do business with this person. But since he just offered me like that, he had the key already in his pocket. So now I now begin to think that for me to be invited to meet him, it was planned. Obviously by the gang stalkers who has been stalking me. They want to rape me. They want to sexually molest me. They want to take advantage of me. And I believe that is why they hinder me from, being employed. Because they believe if I remain unemployed, I will be frustrated economically and I will make wrong choices. That's what they are hoping I will do. And since it is not happening that way, they have now decided to take it into a trickery territory. A trickery territory in the sense that this person invites me for work and I'm there for work. Now they want to take advantage of their true motive. Their true motive is not to offer me work, but their true motive is to thinking that when I come there, I see the wealth, they can take advantage. So I will be like a standby girlfriend. They will be fucking every time. Sorry for my words. They will be taking advantage of sexually every time they need it. So I understood what I was into. I offered him money. He refused the money. He doesn't want my money. And other things were said that I prefer not to say that now, or not to say that, for so many reasons, okay? So many other things was offered, actually, monetary was offered, but I would prefer just to leave that out of the discussion. When I write a book and I'm advised by legal counsel that it's okay to write it, I would write it, okay? So the situation is that, to cut a long story short, and then he started putting pressure on me that I have to leave. That actually is the word I've heard repeatedly from the gang stalking programming. They put in the mouth of people to say, oh, a lady Vandare, she has to leave. Or they want to send her away, Or, she's a very, those are something right now, it doesn't mean anything to me again. Because it's just it's just words from desperately perverted, troubled sex predators. The gang stalking program is filled with madness, psychopaths, and people that really they don't even deserve to still live. They are not supposed to be living amongst humans. So anyway, this was the situation that happened, and he said I have to leave and everything. I said, well, why did you allow me to bring all those things if this was what you were up to? Did I present myself as an harlot to you, as a prostitute to you, that you invited me? I came here for business. I gave you the dossier of who I have helped. You've seen the company I have helped. You've seen things I have done. So I don't have any other thing in mind. I never told I was looking for any other thing apart from what I came here for. So when you offer something, I know men can be stupid at times. When you offer something and I have a right to say yes or to say no. And if I turn you down, you feel, or your group of perverted sex predators, they feel offended because they are gang stalking perverted sex predators. They feel offended. And you think you can actually threaten me by asking me out of the vacation villa. Then I said, okay, listen, I was in the hotel before. I have to get these things out of the hotel. Then I have my things somewhere, and I had to go and get my things from there, to bring it here. So now, if you just give me time, if you want, let me like 2 or 3 months, I will pay for it so I can get somewhere else. Okay, the guy said, okay, so somewhere to just, systemize myself. You see, you can see the guy has actually no problem in attacking or harassing me. But the gang stalking programming is a satanic programming. They need sexual intercourse to demonize people. And they are traumatizing me with all this defamation of my character, shame campaign, pushing me out of a static habitation. Because you see, let me tell you one thing about having a static habitation. When you go out in the morning, or you go to offices, you go for work, you go for anything, and you are leaving your work, you have a home to go back to. You are relaxed that, oh, I can't wait to get home to take a shower. I can't wait to get home. I have to cook a hot meal and everything. But somebody that has no fix, like maybe somebody like me, I have to go back to the hotel and I'm finishing work or I'm finishing from wherever I am and everything. I'm going back and I'm thinking, I hope I don't have stress. I hope the gang stalkers have not invaded my room, put cameras in my... You can imagine the psychological stress that the targeted individual have to go through. So anyway, definitely in the Peschara, the Garda, they must have put camera in my room, but I was not actually alerted to the camera, the hidden camera they're using to defile my dignity without my knowledge. You understand? So anyway, this guy said, okay, maybe he can give me two, whatever. So I guess he went to tell his partners in crime, the gang stalkers. Actually, they were using the man. I don't think it's part of the gang stalking program. They're using, because like they do. Everybody a targeted individual comes in contact with, they try to brainwash them, they try to mind control them, they try to bewitch them to be under their control. So this man was already under their control. Sometimes I tried to speak with him, I tried to really break him off of their grip, but you see, these are wizards. They practice, satanism. So they don't talk to people with ordinary mouth. They actually use spiritual powers to suppress somebody's spirit to collaborate with them. That's why you see, where I don't like to stay with people. I've always been staying alone. I don't like to stay with people because anybody around you is actually a target for their witchcraft mind control. Because they know they cannot get me. I don't trust them. I don't mess around them. I don't go around with them. I don't want them as friends. I don't entertain them around me. So they know they are limited around me. The only person they can use through is somebody close to me. And how can they do that? They have to tell lies to the person. They have to mind control the person. They have to brainwash the person and tell lies that maybe I've done something. I'm a terrible person. I might harm the person. I might do this. So to put the person in a panic attack. And I've seen so many people fail these tests because you see, somebody can like you, especially people, as a targeted individuals. We don't have long-term friends again. The people we know are just people we meet newly. And when you meet somebody newly, it is easily to destroy a new relationship because they don't still know you very well. So when a law enforcement agent comes or a military intelligence come and tell somebody that, look, this person is like this, like this, like that, you don't know the person. And when somebody with authority tells you something about somebody, you will say, well, it's not somebody I've known for years, so definitely maybe it's true. Like me, they try to stigmatize me. They are robbing me. They are stealing from me. And they try to stigmatize me with what they are doing to me. So that when I talk, nobody will believe me. And the fact that they are throwing me out of houses as I'm paying for, I'm depositing money. They are stealing my money. They are reducing my wealth. And I'm not getting anything back in return. So definitely, people see me moving regularly believes that this one cannot, because, they move me out of houses. They throw me out of houses and they go around to say, since he cannot pay rent, that's why they throw her out. And of course, if I don't have any written agreement somewhere, I cannot prove it. The ones I have written agreement, I can prove. So this is what, the psychological stress alone, it's so much. Gang stalking program is a crime. It must be stopped. It should be stopped. It must not be encouraged at all. So, this situation went on with this man in Peschara de Garda, and I said, okay, no problem. Can they just give me time to get to try to get somewhere to put my luggages? And since I've been moving a lot, and I don't think any hotel will allow me to take that much luggage to the hotel room, since, probably I will say I want to stay there some weeks, and okay, you're bringing, 12 luggages to stay for 2 weeks or something, that kind of a thing. So the guy had no problem with it. then the gang stalkers, since they were desperate, they are sex predators and perverts, they were desperate to actually sexually molest me or defile me. They now they told him to give me a condition. A condition is actually either I accept what they're asking of me or I leave immediately. And he gave me just 3 days to do that. Oh my God. So anyway, and I went to Verona to look for how I can organize myself, because it's concentrated with blacks. So I met this black guy. He owns like a call center or something like that. I don't even know what he's doing there. But at least he has something like a call center. He sells all this car. He's just behind the station. I went to him. I explained the whole situation. That look, I'm living in this place. I mean, I explained to him what really happened. Whether he believed me or not, I was not actually in the mood to convince anybody of anything. I was just looking for a place to quickly get an emergency place and everything. So the guy said I should not leave the place if the guy is not moving me. I said, but the guy has already given me a time to leave, and it's not the guy doing this thing. It's his friends that they want to get sexually involved with me. So they are trying to put me in a situation whereby I will make a decision based on their on their sexual perversion, thinking that I would accept their perversion. Let me just put it that way. Their perverted desire towards me. So the guy was like, whether you believe, because you say, well, that's why I said, with the African mentality, the slave mentality, sometimes, I mean, not that sometimes, most of the Africans living in Italy, they live very badly. So somebody like me that attains so much success, that I've always lived in beautiful homes. I make it beautiful myself anyway. But you see the Africans, they live 20 people together. They live very miserable. They don't take care of their home. It's very terrible, very dirty, So somebody like me to even talk, what I was telling to this guy, probably he found it very difficult to even believe I was living in a villa or whatever. So anyway, he said he wanted to drop me at home. So he dropped me at home. Normally I don't bring people into the house, but I brought him into the house to actually see. I said, look, listen, I've even packed my luggages. I just need a place to get now, my emergency place to get. This is what they put me through every time. So I'm living my life, having places, pay for the places, they throw me out, they take my money, they take my deposit, they steal my properties, and I always, that's how they've been stealing from me, by the military intelligence. Yes, the military intelligence is behind the theft of my properties. There's no doubt about it. If they hear my video blog, they can sue me to court. I will respond. I will come and defend myself in court with proofs that they are involved in all this theft of my properties. They're intentionally putting me in vulnerable situation for them to steal my wealth, to steal everything I can stand on. They are limiting me from getting jobs. They want to push me in unemployment and hoping that I will be destroyed economically, where I can be vulnerable to be taken advantage of, that they can sexually molest me or do something terrible to me, or like they've killed so many destitute and they've used people for experiment. And I believe that is what they're trying to do to me. They're trying to get rid of any form of wealth I can lay my hands on. Since they make me to be unemployment, I still have a source of income I can depend on. Now they try to steal. They're stealing all my property, so I don't have anything to fall back to. That's what they're doing. These are criminals. Gang stalking is a crime. It's being committed every day, and people are willfully involved in this crime. It must be stopped. It is a crime against humanity. It is a crime against humanity. It must be stopped. These are psychopaths. These are mentally disturbed sex predators. They are really disturbed. So anyway, when the guy came with me and saw my luggage, he believed me then. I said, look, listen, if the worst will come to the worst, I see that you have a shop. Is it possible I just bring my luggages, I put it in your store, I can give you something little, I go to get an hotel and stay, because before I came here, I'm very stressed out, I'm going through a lot, and I don't want this to add to the pressure I already have. I know this guy is not the one doing all these things. This man is not the one. There are people that are in the military intelligence that are manipulating and orchestrating this attack on me. So I want him to please, if he can do me that favor. The guy, he said, okay, he will help me look out for something. He disappeared, of course, probably, for so many reasons. Though I've already packed my luggages, but, Africans over here in Italy, they are not like Africans in England, in America, in Canada, that they're well educated. I'm not saying they are not educated Africans here, but the educated one, the one that came with scholarship, the one that private student like me, I was a private student. I didn't come with scholarship, but I have friends, people I know that came with scholarship. Those ones, they maintain their distance. The ones you can see easily are these ones that they are totally ignorant. They are completely ignorant of normal life. Let me just put it that way. So probably packing all my things in his head, probably he thinks maybe I'm stealing all those things. Probably, I don't know why it disappeared. But anyway, I saw that I didn't have any choice. I told the man, okay, the day I was supposed to leave, which was a Saturday, the man came to me, said, am I ready? I said, of course. Well, I've not made a concrete arrangement, so I have to leave. So one thing I actually realized is that, with so many years of being persecuted, being harassed, and the theft of my property. For years, what they've done to me is that they've actually tried to put me in a vulnerable condition to sexually molest me, for me to make the choice to be sexually available for their perversion, or they put me in a condition whereby they will separate me from my property, and by the time I come back to get my properties, it would have disappeared. And when I take legal actions, the same military intelligence are the ones the court will give the assignment to go and investigate. So already, any court case I make, the ones that are investigating are the ones attacking me. So already, it's a biased investigation that will lead nowhere. And that's what has been happening to me all this while. So before I go on, I would just like you to listen to this short message. Thank you. Hello, I'm Lady Abimbola. I'm against narcissistic gang stalkers. Please help me with the campaign against the gang stalkers, the campaign and awareness against the gang stalking programming, an evil persecution and harassment against the human race. It has claimed many lives. Please help me. Below are information on how you can donate. Thank you. All your efforts will be highly appreciated. Thank you. Okay, welcome back. So, then what happens here when they do this, they separate me from my properties. When they separate me from my properties, then the next thing is they steal the properties. Okay. So in this case, I didn't pay any, rent because I was invited for work purposes, but I have my personal properties there, my designers' wares, bags, luggages, everything. And, and some new things I bought because where I kept my things was so many distance away. I said, well, it's convenient to buy a new, for example, like a juice maker instead of going to get mine, which the transportation and everything. So anyway, I bought some new things also, some kitchen utensils and things for my, breakfast, to make juice and so many other things I make. Anyway, so the guy came and I said, well, I've not made any concrete arrangement. Is it possible that he will give me like maybe a week or two, or maybe till the end of the month, then I will give him money for this month? He said, no, he doesn't need my money. I said, yeah, but I mean, it's not really fair. I've not made any arrangement. Or, okay, do you know any hostel? Because this area is the most expensive area, but I don't even have a means to transport all those things away with me immediately. So you have to be fair in this, because the way you're behaving or anybody is influencing you to behave right now, it's unfair. It's like I walked into a trap. That's the way I see the whole thing. Of course, that's the way it is. The gang stalkers, they have been stalking me for years. They know what I do. They know I'm into business. They know what I do. So they lured me to the man, you understand, promising work offer, deceiving me to promise work offer, knowing that I don't have a static bill, because they have made me not to have a static roof over my head. So they know I was in the hotel, and they know having this kind of offer will be very difficult for me to renounce or to reject. It's just not as if it was difficult, but of course, where I was staying and where the man was at Peschara de Garda, they are very far. There's no way I'll be coming every day to communicate with the person. So since there was a work offer and I've been out of work, and this is business I like to do business. I like to, market things. So, I mean, I was just happy about the whole arrangement, but I was just suspicious a little bit in the initial step. I said, well, don't let me to be too much into, whatever, but let's just hope for the best. So what happened is that then the guy said, okay, I can stay. You can see that each time I speak with the guy, he's always telling me, okay, maybe he can give me, a month or two, or whenever I need, arrange myself. Then when he goes and speak with the gang stalkers, because they actually want to abuse me. They want to take from me by force my integrity. This predatory, sexual, perverted psychopaths, they want to take from me by force something. Since they cannot do it, even their legal powers cannot make them do terrible things to me. So they have to use in a cunning way, believing that they can frustrate me enough, kick me out of work, they want to force me into destitution. They want to harass me and persecute me, lie against me like a dog. They are manipulating my police data. They are creating criminal records against me. I have never committed a crime before in my life. I have never been incarcerated before in my life. I have never done something against the law before in my life. Everything they're creating in the police record are lies. They are fabrication. I am saying it live and direct on my blog. I know they listen to all my videos every day. The military intelligence is behind my gang stalking. They are the ones persecuting me. They are the ones putting me in vulnerable situations. They want to make me destitute. They are using me as an experiment. Whatever their wicked intention is, I will continue to shout out. I will not give in and let people have a mixed feelings on what happens to me. Whatever happens to me, the military intelligence is behind it. So anyway, the situation was that the guy told me, okay, he knows it's difficult. Okay, he can give me till next week, or how long do I want? I said, well, if you can still give me till next week and see what I can do in a hurry next, at least I can, because giving me two nights, it's 3 days, but 2 nights, it's absolutely impossible. If I come with just hand luggage or whatever, weekend luggage or whatever, something happens, I can just take my luggage and go away, sleep in the next hotel, and the next day I try. But actually they told him to let him bring so many things, because the more things I bring, the more they can steal from me, the more it's uncomfortable for me to get out of immediately any situation they put me in. It was all a setup. I just walked into it. These are criminals. They are thieves. They have been stealing from me. They are still stealing from me. The Milano incident is orchestrated by them. Campo Tourist incident is orchestrated by them. They told the landlord not to get money from me so he can take me out of the house, and they know I have properties there. Everything is a setup. The Peschara de Garda is a setup. Everywhere is a setup. Colo Salvetti is a setup. Bayonne the Sopra is a setup by the military intelligence. So anyway, so on a Sunday, I went to church because the owner said I could still remain there for about a week or something. So I didn't think I was doing anything wrong. I went to church. I was not feeling so well, but I still managed to go to church that morning, and I was really stressed out. And they were really waiting for me to finish from church. Of course, they stalked me to church also, and so they knew when I was coming back. The pastor even brought me back because of the way I was feeling. I was not really feeling well at all. So I came back. I saw some evil crowd in front of my house in Peschara, the Garda, Via del Lavoro number 1. And I just walked past them. They were singing some stupid songs. They were making remarks, directing it at me. I just walked past them and went inside. So then I started becoming sensitive to the gang stalking program that, psychopaths are involved in this. The military police is obviously involved in this. They have not made it, they've not made their involvement hidden at all. So I went inside the house. I was so tired. I went to sleep. I went to just relax my head. I was really having the pressure, the stress and everything. And all of a sudden, I just heard a very loud bang. Come to the conclusion of this video blog. I would like you to listen to this news or advert. No. They came in, the military police came in through the glass door, and they got to the other wooden door and broke it down as if they were on a raid. This is a 47-year-old woman. I'm 47 years old now. I'm talking about 2012, so I was a lot younger, but still in my 40s. I don't have any criminal record. I am not under any investigation. I am not being, searched for. I am not a fugitive. I do not do any illegal activities. I do not participate in one. I am not in the house. I am living illegally. I'm legally permitted there by the owner of the house. The police came and they came with all these instruments, and broke down the door. This is actually not the image of the military police. I just looked for an image, and I got this image here on Google. So, but I just wanted to have an idea of what actually transpired that day. I have never seen anything like that. I was beyond shock. This is somebody that was sick. I was not feeling well. I jumped out of sleep. I was half naked on the bed, and these individuals, I don't want to call them the name that actually comes to my mind right now. They intruded my privacy. What justifies that action? I do not still understand than the fact that they were looking for every possible means to traumatize me, because traumatization is part of the programming. They need to psychologically, mentally break the target down for you to be an ideal candidate for programming. Then I saw the man that owned the house at the back of the law enforcement agent. I asked him, what is happening here? And the guy never said anything. They must have really coerced him for them to take that action. So I said, what is the meaning of this? They said they need to talk to me. I said, is this the new way of talking to somebody by breaking down the door? It's not as if they knocked and I refused to respond or whatever. There was no knock. There was nothing. A day before I saw the owner of the house, he said I could stay another week and, until I get myself together. So what really happened? Why that action? The only reason is that, you see, I'm telling my story because I want you to understand the deception of the gang stalking program. They have a mission. Their mission is to traumatize me, to stress me out, to torture me mentally, emotionally, physically, and their target to destroy me economically. But they are actually orchestrating, mind controlling everyone around. So what they told, their intention is different than the lies they told the people. Though they have uniform of legal authorities, but they work in the deepest deception I have ever seen in my life. They told the man that owned the house all the bullshit lies they tell. So the guy had no choice but not to collaborate to harm me, but to allow them, being a law enforcement agent, to do what they think is right. Whereas what they're doing is, there's nothing legal in that action. Of this action only takes place when you have a permit that somebody did something or whatever. I think they do this thing, or maybe they're looking for drug laws or what. I mean, it must be a mafia setup for them to go to that extent. But this is what they do to me regularly. The military intelligence, I don't really know what they're all about. But one thing I know, gang stalking is a serious crime. And according to the law, the Italian law, it has been declared a criminal act. So, are we saying that the military police is committing criminal act against a foreign citizen? So, a Nigerian moves to Italy. I schooled here. I have never committed crime here in Italy. I have not done anything to link me with any criminal act. Still yet, they treat me worse than a criminal. Why have they taken this action against me? Because the gang stalking programming is not against criminals. It's against destroying the decent in the society that has not been conditioned socially. Like most people have been socially conditioned in their mental way of thinking, of saying things. And the ones that cannot be socially conditioned are the ones that target for this kind of persecution and harassment. As I come to the end of this vlog, I would like you to listen to this. Hello, I'm Lady Abimbola. I'm against narcissistic gang stalkers. Please help me with the campaign against the gang stalkers, the campaign and awareness against the gang stalking programming, an evil persecution and harassment against the human race. It has claimed many lives. Please help me. Below are information on how you can donate. Thank you. All your efforts will be highly appreciated. Thank you. After I left the hospital against this man, because when I left the hospital, I tried to get my properties, my luggages, and it was nowhere to be found. I called him, and there was no response. And it's just a way of harassment. This guy has nothing to do with all these things. Each time this was happening, there was even an incident. The guy responded and somebody took the phone from him and switched off the phone. There was another time he responded and people were laughing at the background. So I just believe the gang stalkers, the military intelligence were around him, always at this particular period, because what they were doing is harassment with the intention to do me harm, to harm me emotionally, to harm me psychologically, to distress me, to stress me out. And that is what the gang stalking program is all about. For those of you that don't still understand, I don't know what else we can do or I can do to really make you understand that there is something called gang stalking programming. This gang stalking programming is a program that is meant to destroy the human race. And I'm not joking about it. It exists, and Some of us that know more about this programming are under severe persecution, harassment, daily 24/7 harassment. Even as I speak right now, where I am staying, there are discussions, there are all kind of things going on around, people parading, monitoring, all these kind of things. It is a stressful situation. These are psychopathic human. They're not even, I can't even classify them as humans. These are psychopaths. And when I took legal actions against these people. I went to the same police station that did that to me. I intentionally did that because I wanted to use it against them. But anyway, they told me their computer was not working, which was a bull crap. And I was sick. This period I was sick, but I didn't relent in my pursuit of justice. And I was walking to another a station of the, in that area we have just military police because you have the. So anyway, I was walking about, I think 5 kilometers away to the next town where they have another station. Of course, I know they were going to follow me or stalk me, but definitely they probably didn't have the idea what I was going to do. They think going to their station, I didn't get a result, I would have renounced, whatever. But I'm a very determined woman, and what I did was that I went straight there. I went to report them. So by the time I was reporting, by the time they contacted each other, I've already made the report. It has been signed by the I don't know his position, but the senior officer that signs reports, legal report, it has been done, it has been signed. I've already received. When I was receiving it, the phone call came, and I think they were telling them to deny me of any report I want to make. But already, it was in my hand. I've already stood up, and I was already on my way out, and I heard the police saying that. I mean, it just she just she just finished. I mean, she's just on her way out right now, So then they knew they were in trouble. Anyway, I went to the court. I mean, after depositing that, they tried to also not allow the the report I made to get to the court. So it was just there, knowing very well that I'm dealing with people that is in the position of power. They can manipulate justice. They can do anything to make sure I don't get justice. So I went straight to the court in Verona, and in the court in Verona, I presented what happened. I got a lawyer. And the lawyer everything went so fast because actually they underestimated me. They were not expecting so many actions I took. And I was taking it, to their surprise and to their shock. So anyway, at this point, the thing was in the court. So the case was going on. I got an invitation to speak with the guy. First of all, I didn't want to attack the guy. I just won my things because I knew he was being manipulated. The guy had no problem with me. I had no problem with the man. I believe he intentionally want to do business with me. But when the military intelligence stepped in, they actually stopped whatever would have transpired for business and everything, Because here you can use to pay tax. You can use also your social security numbers. You can use if you have a company, if you're a freelancer. There's so many ways. So they don't have any excuse. Whatever they're doing to me, they don't have. This is abuse of power. This is dehumanizing somebody. They've attempted to criminalize me. Several times they've done things to me. They've humiliated me. They've made me go through so much traumatizing situations. So much. You cannot even understand the extent. There are times that they've done terrible things to me. There are times that even in hotel rooms, when they just want to stress me out, they just tell them to push me out without any reason. Maybe I paid I paid for 2 weeks, and I tell them, look, okay, I'll be paying every 2 weeks, because since they're stealing my money and they push me out, so I try to be wise. Instead of paying monthly and everything and I lose my money, so I try to pay maybe weekly or 2 weeks and everything, at least, to be a little bit prudent in how I spend the money, since I was not getting any income. So there are times that I would just do that. I would have told them in the hotel that, look, listen, I'm going to renew, so they know I'm going to renew, not that I'm leaving. You understand? So even if there's anything that would happen, or maybe they have client, they would have informed me. They won't wait till the last minute. So I will just get to the last minute. Okay, I'm just downstairs to pay for, tomorrow is the last day. I'm going to pay for another week and everything. And you hear a situation whereby, okay, we're full. Even if you're full, you're supposed to inform somebody, so I know how to arrange myself. But I know it's not from the hotel. I mean, gang stalking program, I don't know what it's all about. But one thing I know is that it's carried out by psychopaths that are really extremely dangerous. Whatever Adolf Hitler did is nothing compared to these psychopaths that are in the position of power. They've infiltrated every facet of lives. They are willful collaborators, perpetrators that help them to stalk people around, that help them to harass people. They coerce people into helping, assisting them. They threaten people into assisting them. They deceive people into assisting them. They do all kinds. They even pay people to assist them to harass people. There are people that intrude my Wi-Fi connection. There are people that harass me. There are people that shoot radiation at me. When they shoot radiation at you, they want to harm your health. Because when they shoot radiation at you from the back, they are trying to harm your kidney. Because the kidney actually, it processes the toxins in the blood. And when that does not happen, the toxins that are supposed to go out with the urine will begin to be accumulated in your body, and it will continue to start piling up problems for the body. The God has created a perfect human body that even auto-renew itself. But we have some mad people, we have psychopathic satanists that are really, they are off their head. And the only place of refuge, the Christendom, that would have been a source in which we combat against the forces of darkness, is now taken over by religious spirit. Religious spirit, of course, is not from God. Religious spirit is the spirit that most people think that, the church, they're doing this, they gossip too much, they do that. It is not the church. It is because religious spirit has taken over the church. So they cannot do godly things again. They are just there going to waste their time. They are just being demonized. Anytime they go, they're being demonized. When you see that there's so much negativity in a church, I was somebody that cannot do without going to church, because the Bible says do not forsake the gathering of the brethren. But me right now, as you see me, I do not step into any church. I prefer to make mistakes and concentrate on my God, pray and read my Bible and all this kind of things. Make mistake, I don't care. But I don't want to be demonized in any religious set, because you see, religious spirit is not just there to mislead you. It's there to take possession of your spirit and your soul. So most people are being demonized in the church. It is not the church of God again, because Christianity demonstrates the power of God. Religion has a form of godliness. It just has the presence of godliness and say, oh, hallelujah, everything is okay. But they deny the power of God. They destroy the children of God. They demonize the children of God. You go to church, you have more problem than you went to church. You go to church, you become so wicked, heartless, and vicious. You go to church, you are the greatest gossip in your neighborhood. You go to church, you are just terrible, evil. Even you see some leaders in the church, they will be cursing from the pulpit. There was a church I went to in Famagusta, Lighthouse Chapel, that the leader was actually saying something about that even if he has a girlfriend and he has to sleep with the girlfriend from the back, he will get disgusted. A married man. You see, anyway, I took a legal action against this situation in Peschara, the Garda, and the military police denied all my claims. And I don't know the excuse they gave for their action, but I know they denied it. The man came, we had an invitation, which I'm going to place here. The man came, we discussed. He never denied I have properties with him. He never denied it. Because the man doesn't need, this guy is a rich guy. He doesn't need my properties. I didn't do anything wrong to this guy. I didn't take money from him. I wasn't promising him anything. Nothing. I was there on the invitation to have business transaction with this person. And when he gave me the house, look at, this is somebody that I'm having issues with accommodations because of what the gang stalking program. They want to force me into destitution. Because these are sex predators. These are psychopaths. They are sadistic psychopaths. They are sick. They are really sick human beings. These are satanists. They have legal powers to back up their evil practice. So anyway, I will just place the things in court just to prove what I'm saying, and I will end this here right now. Thank you for listening to me again, and God bless you all. And remember, the greatest weapon in the hands of the oppressor is the mind of the oppressed. So as I always advise, face your fears, elevate your mind, and resist every temptation to panic. Till my next video, take care and God bless. Stay cool.